I open this chat and I say my topic is N8N automation and agentic workflows applied to small businesses, trigger the right thing. Boom! Post 1, LinkedIn, short and sweet. N8N automation features and current trends. Hook, your current automation tools is a simple calculator. We're about to give you a supercomputer. Here's how N8N is rendering automation and leaving other platforms in the dust. Factual, CTA driven, and we have a blog. Alright, I hope you guys like the demo. So today we're going to go into how to build an actual agentic swarm, which is basically very different from having a single workflow or a single agent for that matter. And this is going to be having an orchestrator agent that has sub-agents so that you can actually do multiple things. So in this case, we'll have a writer, and the main goal of the agent, as you saw, is to write. So we'll have more than one agent. So we'll do this, right? We'll have the main agent, which is going to be the orchestrator. Okay, that's this main one here, and it's gonna have sub agents that it can call on to do different things. So we're gonna have a researcher agent. All right, we're gonna have a writing, like a writing agent. So what we'll do is we'll give this one just the hook generation. So this will generate a hook for the actual post. Then we'll have the actual post writer. So that's this one here. And before it gets back to the orchestrator agent, we'll have one more, which is just going to be what I'm calling the cynical checker, right? So we'll have a two-part cynical checker. Okay. So this is pretty much what it is that we're going to build today. So I'm going to move this up here and zoom out a little bit so you guys can see the whole thing. And we'll get started immediately. So the first thing that we wanted to take in a topic, right, or an idea. And so the way we can do that is we'll put a trigger manually, and we'll go have a set field, and here we'll have topic. So here we can simply paste in the topic. So since, let's say, my niche is obviously AI automation, and if I was going to do a newsletter or a LinkedIn post, or I was going to write a text post on Instagram or something where it was going to be written content like a blog, or there's many kinds, right? And I wanted to have many over some duration of time, my niche topic won't change much, right? It's going to be pretty focused. So I'm going to focus on N8N and agentic automation for businesses. Okay, we're going to just this is going to be the topic. So I'll rename this to topic. Okay, so the researcher agent. Now, the way we do this is we need to first build the main agent and then connect the sub-agents as tools to that agent. So if I go here, I can type in agent, and you see you get AI agent. Okay, so I'm going to say define below, and I'm going to tell the agent that you are the head of my content department. Okay, your job is to call the right tools in the right order so that we can get high quality written content output. I'll just make it full screen so you guys can see. The tools you have access to are, number one, research. Actually, no, we'll say your job is to call the right sub-agents in the right order so we can get, so I'll say that the sub-agents you have access to are research. It has access to the research agent, hook agent, writing agent, and cynical agent. Okay, so hook agent, writing agent, and cynical agent. And I'll say here is the flow of, here is your logic flow. 1. You will receive a topic. 2. You will call the research agent to do research on that topic. It will return to you what it finds. 3. You will give the research and the topic to the hook agent, which will generate 3 scroll stopping hooks for the post. You will pass the research from the research agent, the hooks, oh wait, hold on, the research agent, the topic, and the hooks are going to be from the hook agent to the writing agent. Okay, and then the writing agent, I'm just going to copy it from here. The writing agent will return 3 posts, 1 for each hook. You will pass only these 3 posts to the cynical agent. The cynical agent will return the final 3 posts. That will be the output that you send to the user. Okay, perfect. Let's get rid of this. Let's put a chat trigger. Okay, do chat trigger here. And we'll remove all this. Connected chat trigger node. We'll add a system message and we'll paste that in there as the system message. Just to confirm it one more time. You're the head of my content department. Your job is to call the right sub-agents in the right order so that we can get high quality written content output. The sub-agents you have access to are research, hook, writing, cynical. Receive a topic, call the research agent to do research on that topic. It will return to you what it finds. You will give the research and the topic to the hook agent, which will generate 3 scroll stopping hooks. You will pass the research, the topic, and the hooks to the writing agent. The writing agent will return 3 posts, 1 for each hook. You will pass only these 3 posts to the Cynical agent. The Cynical agent will return the final 3 posts. That will be the output that you send to the user. Perfect. Okay. I don't think we need anything else from this. Probably we can enable a fallback model just in case. So the chat model that we can use here, I'm going to go for OpenAI 4.0 Mini. We need a tool calling agent. 4.0 Mini is a good option to go with. Our fallback model will go for a Gemini 2.5 Flash. That's also fine. All right, I'm going to just put these up here actually, just so that I have some space down there. Let's move these here. All right, cool. Now, how do we actually connect these agents now to this main agent so it can actually call them? So you press tool and you can search AI agent tool. So now we have a sub agent. All right, so I'm going to rename this to what I told it was called, which was research agent. All right, so this is the research agent right here. Now for the research agent, the prompt is going to be defined by the AI, right? The AI will tell it what the topic is and what it needs to do. But we'll put a system message saying that you are a research agent for a written content creation team. You will receive a topic. Your job is to do in-depth research on the current trends in that topic and return as much relevant data as you can find. You must split the research into exactly 3 categories. The 3 categories are up to you. However, the 3 categories are up to you to decide. Okay, now we have that. Okay, we have that, and here again, I'm just gonna go for a Google Gemini 2.5 Flash, and I make sure I have this right account for that. Okay, that's the chat model. As for the tool, it needs to do research, which means I'll give it a Tavli tool so it can actually query and search depth. I'll give it advanced. Okay, so we need to tell it that it can actually call this thing. You have access to a tool called research tool. You must call this tool in order to complete your task of doing the research. Okay? So if this is what I've said it's called, I'm going to go here and I'm going to rename it to that. That's the research tool. So we have the research agent. Okay, the next thing we need to do is attach another agent, and this is going to be our, again, make this like this, add option, system message. I'm going to say You are a marketing and sales specialist. You excel in creating scroll stopping hooks. You will be given a topic, 3 categories of research pertaining to that topic, and it is your job to create 3 scroll stopping hooks for 3 posts that will be written for each of the research categories. So this one, we don't need to give it any tools, right? We don't need to give it a tool or anything like that, because its only job is to write. So this is the hook agent. And the only thing, we would pick a good writing model, which, as far as I know, I think 2.5 Pro, unless you have access to Claude, is your best bet. Or 4.1, GPT 4.1. But, it's debatable. So, okay, what else do we say it should be able to do? Is a writing agent and a cynical agent. Alright, cool. So I'm just gonna go ahead and copy this here, because I wanted to have the writing agent to also just use Gemini. So I'm gonna just remove this, and I'm gonna say writing agent, and I'm gonna say you are a marketing and sales specialist. You excel in creating written media. You will be given 3 scroll stopping hooks, research from which those hooks were generated, and a topic to which this entire content creation team pertains. Okay? And we'll say your job is to expand the hooks into full written posts using the following rules. Number 1, post 1 is for LinkedIn. Keep it short and sweet. Post 2 is a newsletter. Keep it factual and include CTAs throughout the article. Post 3 is a blog. Keep it general as it is for a large audience. Note: your job is not to change the hook given. Your job is not to change the hook. It is to expand on it. Alright, so we'll call that as the writing agent. Alright, and the last one, now I think this one we're going to use GPT 4.1 for it. And this is our cynical agent. Cynical agent. All right. Chat model. OpenAI chat model 4.1 mini is perfectly fine. OpenAI account. All right. All right. Okay. So here's something that we're gonna do. In the tool, we're gonna give it a think tool. All right, and the way this works is it will not obtain new information or change the database. That's if you have a vector database already attached, which we don't. It'll just append this to the log. Use it when complex reasoning or some cache memory is needed. So given that we want to create a set of rules for this thing to follow, I'm going to put here that you are a cynical editor. So I did some serious thinking and I've come up with what I think we could do as the post for this, and I'll put this in the description. But this is based on a writing agent I made in the past, which is what I used to post on LinkedIn. Actually, I use this agent, so this is free sauce because I post on LinkedIn and it does very well, to be honest. And this is the agent that I made for that. So we have instant fail, right? We have style violations, and I'll perform it if failed, then return failed, and if passed, return passed. What this means now is I'm going to go in this, and I'm going to say the cynical agent will return passed or this is going to be failed along with reasons. You must then take the post and the feedback and give it to the editor agent. The editor agent is the only agent whose output you can show to the user. It will return the final post. Or we should say, the editor agent will fix it and return the post to you. You must take that post and give it back to the cynical agent for it to check. You will continue this loop until the cynical agent says passed. How about that? That would be a good loop for us. All right, so we're going to have another one here. Another agent, and this is not going to be a hard one. This is going to be a very easy one. This is simply going to be, you are an expert content editor. You are an expert writer. You will receive a what? Post and feedback on that post. Follow the feedback to the letter and do not come up with any of your own improvements. Fix the post, and that's it. Fix the post according to the feedback. Alright, so that's going to be our editor agent. And so I feel like that should also be here in the list of agents that it has access to, just like that. Okay, perfect. Now, the think tool, right? The think tool, I'm going to put here OpenAI chat model 4.1 mini, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. So the think tool, what do we want to put in here? Here we're going to put some certain rules that we don't want this to miss. Okay, so if I go in here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paste in this, use this bulleted list to help it evaluate the content step by step. As the logic to evaluate the content step by step. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to say you are connected to a think tool. You must call this tool on every run. Alright, we'll just leave it like that. Okay. And I'll rename this to think tool. Rename it like that. Alright, here we're going to put here respond to chat. This is just going to be JSON.output. Okay. So now, if I open this chat and I say my topic is N8N automation and agentic workflows applied to small businesses, and I send that off. You know, it's very rare that we have a fully functioning swarm system on the first go. There's usually a lot of iteration that needs to happen. But I'm excited to see how well this performs, given that we've pretty much just done it in like 15 minutes. 25 minutes, but the first 10 minutes of the video we were just talking about stuff. So I want to see how well it does, given that it's literally one shot, right? So the research agent has finished its research. This thing better call the hook agent. That's what I'm waiting to see. Is it going to call the hook agent? Because now it has the research and the topic. Yeah, and like I said, it's very rare that this will run, perfectly on its first shot. There's usually a bunch of trial and error stuff that needs to happen, but we did dictate everything very, very clearly, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. You are the head of this. Capability, scalability. So it's got a lot of research here. Oh, there we go. It's called the hook agent. That's great. The hook agent should go ahead and give us the input. No. What? Okay, we have hook 1. Your current automation tool is a simple calculator. We're about to give you a supercomputer. Here are the N8N features that are making other platforms look like toys. Your automation just got a brain, and N8N's new AI features can now adapt, learn, and make decisions for you. That isn't just if this, then that anymore. Stop paying per task. The open source self-hosted automation tool that gives you unlimited workflows. So it appears like the hook agent didn't entirely... Oh, it made 3 scroll stopping hooks for each of the 3 research categories, which means I need to go in here and say, job is to create 3 scroll stopping hooks for the 3 posts. You will be given 3. Your job is to create a scroll stopping hook for each of the 3 categories. For each of the research categories. Well, that's okay. Here we have the writing agent. It's now doing its job as well. There's obviously a little bit of a problem here, which is that we've gotten 9 posts because it wrote 3 for 3. Post 1, LinkedIn, short and sweet. Perfect. Post 2, newsletter, factual, CTA. Post starts, this is it and then anymore. Hey, first name, automations just got whatever, whatever, whatever. Post 3, blog to a general audience. So far, it's looking really good. I can't lie. It also picked its own posts because there were 9 hooks. We didn't tell it. We told it there would be 3, but it's smart enough to. Okay, I got more hooks than normal, but I still need to output 3 posts, and I need to output a LinkedIn post, a newsletter post, and a blog post, which is exactly what it's done right here. Now, the Cynical agent is sort of where all the magic happens because it's going to return failed, instant fail. Okay. So yeah, that's like bound to happen because it's obviously checking for AI generated content, and it is all AI generated content. So it's good that this is actually run and it's got it correctly. Now I want to see it send the feedback and the post to the editor agent, and that will return the final fixed post that we want to, the top 3 posts, right? This is a stop X, start Y pattern, which is banned, instant fail. The first sentence, your current automation tool is simple generation, applying other tools that simple calculators. Instant fail, use of supercomputer metaphorically. Instant fail, the phrase is simple, appears in the hook. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yeah. Okay. And here we have the editor agent. So anyways, let's go ahead and move this all out of the way, because as soon as the editor agent is done, we're going to actually see the proper output. If this is actually the right JSON that I've written, I don't know. It might be output.txt. I don't know. We're going to see. And if I check this, not in there, OpenAI chat model. Yeah, no, hold on a second. Let's just run it back. To this one, there was no issue. The only issue was this thing. Response mode in the chat trigger must be set to respond nodes. Add field response mode using respond nodes. Perfect. So if I just grab this all, pin that, and execute this last one, you can see it should be giving us this in the chat, but maybe that's not going to work right now. Let's just like execute workflow. Cannot read properties of undefined. Reading node name. Okay, anyways, that's just an issue with if I open chat and I'm just going to put a full stop there, for example, just to see if it will trigger the right thing. Boom! Post 1, LinkedIn, short and sweet. NN automation features and current trends. Hook, your current automation tool is a simple calculator. We're about to give your supercomputer. Here's how NN is rendering automation and leaving other platforms in the dust. Factual, CTA driven, and we have a blog. So what I would suggest as you take this and expand on it and make it better, this prompt, by the way, is in the description, this large one here, as well as the Think Tool stuff is all in the description, this entire thing right here. I would suggest here we would go ahead and we would modify this to say passed or failed, and the feedback is given to the editor agent. The editor agent is going to fix and return the fixed post to you. You will then give it to the Cynical agent again. Okay, give it back to Cynical agent and continue this loop of Cynical agent to editor agent to Cynical agent until the Cynical agent returns passed for all 3 posts. And this way you'll have a loop going on, and it's constantly going to be fixing and improving itself. So even if we look at what the output was of the editor agent in the initial run, post 1, so the input it got, revise the following 3 posts based on the feedback from the Cynical agent for effectiveness in post 1. Hook So as you can see, there's a clear issue there. We need to mention that the editor agent is going to fix the give it to the editor agent. Now, I'll say here that the editor agent does not have access to Cynical agent, so you must format the feedback from Cynical agent so that the editor agent can understand what feedback is for what post and is regarding, is for what post. We'll just say something like that. Alright, so anyways, look, the main idea is you managed in about 30 minutes to build an entire swarm, a LinkedIn a LinkedIn newsletter and a blog creator. Now, if we open ChatGPT and I tell it to find me the latest info on NA10 automation and agentic workflow application to small businesses and write me a LinkedIn post, a newsletter, and a blog, and I send that off. I just want to show you guys the difference. There's a reason that we do this. LinkedIn post. If you post this is just screaming AI. Newsletter section, engaging and insightful. There's no CTAs throughout this, which there should be because it's a newsletter. The blog, the rise of agentic automation with NA10. Why small should care now? As you can see, you have that versus you have, versus you have what this chat agent gave us, which was literally following our rules. See what I mean? Big difference, right? So this is the good thing with being able to create these kind of things. Hope you like it. See you in the next one.